I'm live. Hi. If you are wandering the internet thinking, I want to learn how to play instrumental ukulele, you have come to the right place. This is a live broadcast that will be recorded, and you'll find it that way. It is 12:56, so we won't start the class for at least 6 minutes. So if you want to fast forward ahead, do that. If you haven't been to the website yet, jollyrogerukulele.com, you should do that. And that's what I need to tell you. I'm now going to go post our link onto our front page of our paper, of our website. Paper. I'm old, you might know. And then we'll finish getting everything set up. Monday, June 29th. Link to join. Highlight this. Delete. Paste. Highlight. Link. Enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, and then update. And then I click on view page to make sure that the link is working correctly. Go down, scroll. And there I am, being a ridiculous human being. And so we should get a few people in here to let me know if the sound is working properly. Lighting looks okay. Being me. Okay, there I are. Kay says I'm here. So I think I'm here. I hope I'm here. I have an alien sticker, so I'm hoping that it's not a sticker. It's a patch. I'm going to sew it onto my thing. Hopefully all of the things are working properly. I haven't touched anything today, so should be all on. Hello, Lynn. Here I are. I missed everyone, especially you, Gary. Ah, Mike, you're so kind. Mike has a new ukulele. Phyllis, hello on this hot day up in Ontario. Sound is perfect. Good. Hot day in Ontario. See, that's something we don't like, right? We want every day to be chilly in Ontario. That means that global warming was a myth. Yeah, it's glad you're here, fellas. Good to see you. Brandon, in from the Bay Area. Sweet patch. I don't know what that means. Hello from, oh, it's cloudy down in Ecuador. Oh, see, the world's upside down. It's supposed to be cloudy in Canada and sunny in Ecuador, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to be? Let's see. Laurel's in. Though, dear. Oh, I know. I spent the weekend getting these things together, and I'm a little Sound of Music out at this point. But I'll pony up and I'll or cowboy up, I think is the phrase. Yeah, all three of the upper level songs this week are lovely, and all three have their own unique challenges. Well, they always have their own unique challenges, right? Let's see. My alien band. Yeah, I have a, what do you call it? You know those jackets you wear when you're a mechanic? It's just it's not a Cargill, but it's like those. And I've been putting patches on it over the years. I call it my nerd jacket. And so I have a ukulele patch and a pin from the USSR, and I have, some scooter patches and patches from different places that we visited. And a year or so ago, we went to Roswell, and I got an alien patch, and I'm going to put it on that jacket. And I remembered to bring the patch today to take it over to the tailor, but I forgot the jacket. So I will be delayed in my wearing of the alien. Let's see. So that's the story on the alien patch. And it is sweet, right? Yeah. I wonder how we all decided that that's what aliens look like. Isn't that interesting? Because that's not what they look like. Let's see. Oh, my. Are the institute sessions taped? Yeah, same exact program as the daytime, Michael. So if you can't come tonight, it will be recorded. We're going to be doing the bar chord workshop tonight, and then just squeezing in as much music as we can around the edges. But the bar chord class takes precedent over basically everything else on our list of to-dos, and so we will, and you guys have come every day. You've already been working on some of that stuff anyway, right? Renee was here last week, and I didn't end a song in F with my fancy F chord. And she says, "What the heck are you doing? Get your act together," right? So you guys are probably, those of you guys coming in during the day are probably in way better shape bar chord wise than the majority of ukulele players. But we'll be working on it, right? And so you can come listen to that recording tonight. Linda, yes, there you are, sound and all. I'm not sure for how long. I'm camping in the trees in Granby. Granby's beautiful. Granby is really nice. So good for you, Linda. We'll see how long you can hold a signal up there. It's pretty remote. Hey, Sandy, welcome in. Elizabeth, in from beautiful Weld County. Renee is here. Carol is here. Terry. Diane, also from Colorado. Kate is also from Colorado. Pauline, and from the Bay Area. Got quite a few of you guys from the Bay Area, right? Oh, the alien uke, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I have alien ukuleles. You guys have probably seen them in some of the broadcasts up there. Alien-shaped ukuleles. I have one left with a skull on it. Those are hard to get a hold of these days. So the black one sold. The white one is still hanging out. Let's see. Linda in from the Linda. Yeah, Linda. I think you might be Linda number one. Those other Lindas are slacking off today. Joyce is in last Monday of June. Good time to hear good time to head to the bar. I like that. That's what we're calling tonight's class. That's funny. I don't think like that. All right. Alan's in. Alan is an alien. And I finally hear the legendary bar chord talk. The legend. All right. So we're going to do all that stuff tonight. Tonight we'll do bar chords, and then we get the what I call the kids book, but it's not really a kids book anymore. It's just the book in the key of A, that little booklet. I'm going to talk about that one. We'll talk about that with the newer players, right? How to use that booklet to teach yourself how to sing and strum, and then also to use that booklet how to teach somebody else how to sing and strum. And then for those of you guys that want an advance notice, that booklet has the key chord A, the chord D, and the chord E7. Okay? That's what we teach. That's what all new players need to know. Those of you guys that have been around a while, this is also an A chord with a bar here, right? With the F shape in front. And it goes with the D chord down here that's a bar with on your pinky on 5. And that one goes with the bar on 4, middle finger on 5, and then back to the A chord with your F shape. And so we're going to talk, those of you guys that are legit, right? Those of you guys who are getting it, to rethink the songs with those bar chords. Whoops. Dun, dun, dun. Those are the 3 chords that we would want you to work on. And then after you get comfy with those, then we would transpose those songs into not A, but into the never used chord key of B. Right? And that way you can transpose every song that you get into a key that you can sing it in. And just by doing that little activity there. So that's what we'll be talking about some tonight. It's fascinating stuff. Transposing on a piano can be quite laborious. Transposing on a ukulele can be quite easy once you have your bar chords in place. And so I think it's definitely going to be worth your time to come visit that. Let's see. Anybody else popping in here? Patty's in. Jerry's in. Jerry, I finished her banjo Laley last week. And we put metal strings on it. And it's really loud and it's really beautiful. And if you barely touch the tuners of those 100-year-old banjos, the tuning goes wildly out. but it was sounding really good. And as a reward, she came and brought me a balalaika to work on next. So if you don't know what a balalaika is, that triangle-shaped Russian instrument, only has 3 strings on it. It's awesome. You can't play anything on them, but they're super fun. All right, we're gonna play Daisy Bell today first, right? Is that one? I'm thinking correctly, right? Yeah, Daisy Bell. Let's play that one today. And happy Monday to everybody else. Jacqueline's in, Lindy's in. Lindy San Luis Obispo. Very nice. Welcome in, Lindy. Delighted you're here. You're Lindy number 2. So that's we're getting. Well, we got 3 Lindas as far as we can tell. 2 Lindys and a couple of Lins as well. 2? Is there 2 Lins? 3 Lins? I don't know. There's a lot of L people that show up here each day. Glad you're here, Lindy. Gary is in. Gary and Diane are in from Southern Washington. Cat's in from Muggy in East Texas. Okay, that's probably typical. Juice bar. Come on, Joyce, step it up. Fran and Linda, and Leslie. Yeah, I got Leslie for sure. Okay, let's go into Daisy Bell. We are in the key of F. Okay, and one of the problems with key of F, as you have figured out, is that it's going to come along with its good buddy B flat. Okay, and that's this guy. We'll talk about it in just a minute. And in this song, we have some C7s. Okay, so that's our main 3 keys, or 3 chords in the key of F. But let's dig into this a little bit different, a little bit more, and a little bit different kind of approach, which is normally we talk about the chords, then we play those, then we play the melody, we do that, and then we talk about top fugue for 5 seconds, and then we play it, and we are either successful or unsuccessful at all of those levels. But I want to talk about this song in terms of rhythm, and I want to talk about why when I get a piece of music that just has the chords and lyrics on it, I just go into a rage because they don't tell you what the rhythm is on those things. It wouldn't take them but a jiffy to type 3 or 4 or 6 or whatever it happens to be, but they don't do it. And so you have to know the song in order to be able to come anywhere near playing it. Whereas those of us who have been in music a while, we want real sheet music because we're very serious about this. And the very first, not maybe the very first, but pretty close to the first thing you check is what the timing is. And on this one, it's a 3/4. Let's talk about how important that is to you as somebody. If you are just a singer and strummer, you have to know that piece of information. It is critical to your success. If you are playing instrumentally, you could probably get away with not knowing it just by being able to read the standard notation. You'd figure it out pretty quickly. But as a singer or as a strummer, you gotta know the how many strums in a measure that's going to be. And in this case, we have 3. The reason that's important is that sometimes when we're strumming, we start to strum with the music rather than the beat. And then we get off both singing and strumming, and it doesn't work. And a lot of people say, I just don't understand what I'm supposed to do when I'm strumming. And you've got to ignore what's going on in the song. What's going on in the song is irrelevant. What's going on with your strumming pattern is it has to match the beat. So in this case, if I don't even hold a chord, and if we tried to do 4, Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. We start to get off when the melody gets more complicated. So if we do it in 3, it's going to work out perfectly. And we don't care what's going on in the music. It's just 3 every time. So let's try that. 1, 2, 3. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer. 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. 2, 3, 1, 2, blah. Okay, we don't need to do the whole thing. You got the idea. You're doing 3 beats in every measure, no matter what's going on with the music. If there's quarter notes or half notes or dotted half notes, tied notes, doesn't matter. It's just always 3 when you're in 3/4. You can fancy it up. I noticed myself when I was coming up doing a double take, right? Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Or you could do 6, truthfully. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do 4, 5, 6. So you can do all of those, any multiple of 3. It's theoretically possible that you could do 9s and 12s and so on. You'd be doing one of these deals, but you've got to keep your strumming hand, whatever you choose to do over here. And you guys know we've talked about a million different things you can do with this hand. Whatever you do over here has to be some multiple of 3 to make the thing worked out. So if we are going to pluck 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All of that is legit, right? If you wanted to do 6 over here, Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I'm crazy. So you're always thinking in terms of 3, either 3 or 6, probably in most cases. When you get a piece of music that's in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. On those, usually you can do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you can mix it up. This is where this doggone Hawaiian strum that comes up on. It's in some book that elementary school teachers are using in they're actually using this book in their classroom, and it's called something the Hawaiian strum, which is down, down, up, down, up. And so I get little girls in here who love ukulele and they want to learn more, and I'm like, and they say, I know the Hawaiian strum, down, down, up, down, up. And it's only girls so far. Someday a boy is going to come in here, but so far it's been just the girls all excited to do that. They want to do that on every song, but if it's in 4, you really could down, down, up, down, up, down. Nah, I can't do it with Daisy. In any event, when you're talking about strumming, the right hand is it needs to know what the beat is. The left hand is going to know what the chords are. Okay, so that's what the left hand does. This knows the beat, and that's just for singing and strumming. And if you don't sing, of course, then you just strum, and that's super fun in the beginning. 6 months of that, it is super fun. At the end of 6 months, you're going to realize you're pretty much strumming C, F, and G all of your days, and you want to do something more, and that's why you're here. Now, let's talk about the chords in this song, okay? Anytime you see a song that starts in F and it ends in F, and there's a whole bunch of Fs in it, you're probably in the key of F. When you are in the key of F, grab your little handy-dandy calculator. If you put F here, there's going to probably be maybe some G's, we don't know. Maybe some A's, we don't know. But for sure, B flat is coming along for a ride. For sure, some type of C chord is coming along for the ride. And probably some type of D minor is coming along for the ride. So that's what, I will be doing this to you guys till the end of the time. I'll be holding this up and going, here's how you know what chords are probably going to be in that song. If we start with F, we're going to have B flat, C, and D minor, probably. And in this song, we actually do have all of those, and we have a couple other fancy chords in there to make it sound cool. Musicians don't cooperate with the rules, right? We don't care what the rules are. The problem is the rules sort of make us do things a certain way. And in this song, a G7 is sitting in there. There's no reason to have a G7 in there, but it works beautifully. And I think that's the only other chord that's in here that's you're like, why is that one in there? And the musicians not always, but often will do that to kind of spice up some part of moment in the song. So let's go into all of the chords. Make sure you're comfy with those, and then we're going to sing it, and then we're going to pluck the melody. F chord, as always, index finger, second string, first fret, middle finger up here. We're going to play that for a few measures. Then we're going to go to B flat. Guys, you hate B flat. Everybody hates B flat. I still kind of hate B flat a little bit. You're going to put a bar here. And you're going to put the A shape in front of it. So when I talk about that, and we'll get more into that tonight, this is an A chord, right? That's your A chord, index, middle. Okay, not an F chord, but an A chord. Then instead of using those 2 fingers, I'm just going to use my middle and ring finger. Now I still have an A chord on. Now I'm going to grab my bar. I'm going to put it on. And if I slide it up 1, it becomes an A sharp, or more popularly known in the ukulele world as B flat. Okay. If I move it up 1 more, it becomes a B. Move it up 1 more, it becomes a C, C sharp, D right there. and then a couple more, and you got an E chord right there, F chord right there. That's handy to know that on 8, if you put an egg shape on 8, you'll end up with that beautiful moment where there's another F chord up here. Okay, F chord, there's the F chord, there's an F chord, here's an F chord. So you got 3 F chords that are usable on this instrument. That's why a lot of times, unfortunately, I put out a lot of stuff in the key of F because it really works on ukulele. So you've got your B flat, bar here, in the middle and ring there. Okay. Now, I want you to use a full bar. Here's why. Because there's lots and lots of other bar chords that are going to require a full bar. But here's the truth. And you'll see me do it all the time too. You don't really need the full bar here. Just covering 2 strings here, middle finger and ring finger, and you got your B flat. Okay, and here's what you're hoping for. Okay. Or if you're using the full bar, that's what you're hoping for. Okay, here's what you're going to really get. Okay, that's what you're going to have. And the truth is, this is one of the harder bar chords to do. If I do that same thing up here on 5, I'm going to probably be a lot more successful. Okay, or 4, or 3, or 2. But when I go to 1, I'm really putting an angle on this string here. I'm really crunching that down in order to get it to be successful. And so, pretty tough going. Okay, let yourself let it be tough. Okay, it comes around. Eventually this gets tough enough, that muscle right there, and then you'll be fine. But in the meantime, if you hit this, that's what your B flat chord sounds like right now. Move on. Don't lose sleep over it. Yeah, squeeze a little harder. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. Doesn't matter. Move on. Don't let B flat be the reason why you start playing everything in a different key. Don't let B flat be the reason why you learn to transpose music, right? After B flat, we go back to F. Then down at measure 9, you're going to do your C7. Remember, this is our C chord, and this is a C7. C7 sounds nervous. Oh my God, I want to become an F. Okay, and look what happens after the C7. It becomes an F, which is not unsurprising. Okay, next chord is a D minor. This is an important one. A lot of newer players can't get it in their head. There's a lot of stuff going on there, but it's just an F chord with your ring finger right underneath. Beautiful. Next chord in there, don't lift up your index finger. Just move these 2 guys down. You got a G7. Okay, and then drop over to C7. Okay. Bozeman is not quite snowing up there. We got all the weathers. We've had all the weathers today. Hot, muggy, cloudy, rainy. It's kind of overcast and just lovely here in Denver. Where was I at? C7? And then I think that might be all the chords. Let me double check. That's it. So that's your chords. The only one in here that's surprising is G7. But thankfully, it's a good buddy of D minor. They hang out, and you can almost tell that they belong kind of together. And then what's fun about this song is that then it goes to C7, which is not what you'd expect, and finally back to F. So it's sort of those turnaround. We talked about that when we did the jazz stuff. These turnarounds. It's sort of interesting chord structures that aren't exactly what you'd expect, and then they drop in back to the main idea. Hey Q, welcome in. All right, so let's play the song. I'm going to sing. You guys know that's never good. Okay. What I'm really caring about is that you give 3 strums for every measure, no matter what's going on in the song. 3 strums for every measure. If you see a B flat coming, you might want to strum the F twice, get your B flat ready with an extra beat in reserve, and be ready for your B flat when we get there. Try not to fall asleep on a chord. Always be looking ahead. What's my next chord? What's my next chord? What's my next chord? What's my next chord? Oh, I got that B flat coming. Oh, shoot. I got to probably leave my F before that early so that I can be ready when the B flat comes around. Try to be on this first beat of the measure. You want to do a strum no matter what you're holding on over here. Okay. Let's go nice and, let's make it a decent clip. 1, 2, 3. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. Are you looking ahead? 1, 2, 3. I'm crazy, all for the love of you. 1, 2. It won't be a stylish marriage. 3, 1, 2. I can't afford a carriage. 1, 2. But you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for 2, 2, 3. Okay. Pretty little song. 1892. Should have been written yesterday. It's that good. And what we're working on there again is getting your strums correct. Okay, it's we tend to like at measure. I could go down to measure. Let's go down to the bottom 25 and goof this up. We're supposed to play. You'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for 2. What I find a lot of times is that we get horsed around by the melody and we end up going, you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for 2. You got no hope. You got no hope of that going well. And so at least until you have been playing a couple of years, probably, right? I might be able to pull that off if I really stayed focused, but that's not what you want. You want to keep that beat steady all the way through when you're the rhythm player, when you're playing chords. You are the drummer also. You'll see it every time you go to a luau in Hawaii. There's a ukulele player, and they're just, a lot of times they're not even playing a chord. They're serving as the drummer. And they don't tell you that, right? So that way you will go down and buy one of these and think you can make music come out of it. But a lot of times they're absolutely using it as a drum, and that's because they're just strumming on those beats consistently, and that's going to help you when you go to any type of strum along. And that's also going to be something you want to teach to anybody else that you meet with the ukulele that's struggling with, well, I can't ever figure out what my strum pattern is supposed to. That's what they always say. It's my strum pattern. Well, until you're good, down, 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 down is a pretty good strum pattern. If you want to toss in an up once in a while to make it fancy, you can. But really, you're just trying to strum on the beats. Okay? All right, now that's a long talk about chords and strumming on the beat. Those two things go together. You will also notice as we're talking about this song that the daisy goes on forever. It's really long the way I arranged this. And the idea was if you're playing it properly, when you get down to measure 28 in that eighth notes of a bicycle built, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But if you're rushing when you get down there, you will crash for sure. So be thinking of that. Let's play the melody. Okay, this is all in first position, so that means index finger will play the ones, middle finger will play the twos, ring fingers will play the threes. I'm pretty sure there are no other notes in this song, so let's give it a try. Take your time, play with me. Your job is to make your ukulele just sing out with as much beauty and the longest possible note you can get before you absolutely have to move. Don't lift up a finger unless you have to lift up that finger. Okay? Nice and steady. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 0, 1, 3, 0, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 0, 1, 0, 3, 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. 1, 2, 0, 3, 1, 2, 0, 1, 0, 3, 0, 1, 0, 3, 0, 1, 3, 0, 1, 3, 0, Okay. Missed a note along there somewhere, something didn't go right toward the end. But the idea that I'm trying to get, if you are going to be playing melody, especially if you're going to have duets, you got a friend who plays ukulele, you're going to go over, they're going to play the chord, you're going to play the melody. Don't lift up your finger unless you absolutely have to. So let those notes develop and ring out. That'll create that connectedness that we're always looking for in music. We want those notes to be connected and running together so that they're just sort of stumbling over one another. The one is sort of coming to the end as the next one is taking off. That's what's going to make your playing more beautiful. And on this instrument, we have so little sustain in general that what we really want to do is avoid being very staccato. In other words, right? That's not what you're looking for in most cases. There may be a song or two out there where that'd be fun to do. But for the most part, we're not looking for that on ukulele. We're really looking for this connectedness. Those of you with piano backgrounds, remember how cool when you first started and you figured out if you just camp out on the sustain pedal, everything sounded better until pretty soon the whole thing is the whole entire instrument is clashing, and then you lift up the pedal and put it right back down, and then you start playing again. Creates that connectedness of sound that we like a lot. And on ukulele, you actually have to physically work on it. You have to be aware of how that. Hey, I don't need to lift this chord note up while I go get this other chord, or leave this note down, and while I go get this note, I'm going to leave this down if at all possible. All right. Hey, Pat, welcome in. Glad you made it. All right. We played the chords. We've talked about rhythm. We played the melody. Tough uke. Okay, let's talk about the only major challenge in here is our this eternal F chord, probably with your pinky down here, 2013. It's like in the very first measure. It's not like in the first measure. It is in the first measure. Okay, and that's going to show up at measure 29 at the least convenient time, because you're going to have to go dun 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 dun. So it's going to show up, and you got to be ready for it. This is a shape that I don't know how many times I've typed it in over the years on my arrangements. Is F chord with my pinky on the three. It comes up a gajillion times, and so you want to get where when you see that coming, it's just something you do. You're not even thinking about it. Make sure at measure 12 that you've got your D minor on. You'll have a rest stroke there. You're going to do the upper three strings, but your thumb's going to hang out on that first string. We got on the G7 chord at measure 14. We're supposed to hold this, but it turns out this is the melody note here. This happens often where you'll be holding a G7, and then the darn melody note happens to be this G. So you have a choice. You can put your pinky there to get the 3, or just make a G chord instead of a G7, and you'll get the same result. And I believe that's it for complicated stuff. Okay. So what this song represents, this is sort of the end of the line of the intro to ukulele stuff that I would expect. Hey, by the time we get to Daisy Bell, things are going pretty well for you. So let's give it a try. And hopefully, if you've been here since the beginning of the month, hopefully this is a song that you can play. Okay? I'm going to take it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 3, rest stroke 3, 0, 2, 3, 2, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, strum, D minor, strum. 2, 0, 1, strum, oh, strum, oh, oh, 1, oh, oh, strum, oh, 3, strum, oh, 3, 1, strum, 3, strum, 1, 2, 1, 2, oh, 3, strum. Oh, strum, strum, strum. Oh, strum, strum, strum. Oh, 1, strum, 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 strum. Oh, strum, 2, 3, bar on 5, pinky on 8. Nice. Okay. Beautiful tune. 1892. Um, According to Wikipedia, he just wrote it because it sounded sweet. There's no deeper meaning to it. If you have never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, I tell this story all the time. I think it's vital to your information as a human being on this planet. 2001: A Space Odyssey was a movie that came out a while back. At the time, it was utterly groundbreaking. It would blow your mind crazy. But at the time, nobody went to see it because it's too groundbreaking, and they were all like, "Oh, I don't like that movie." But it's considered, one of these top level classics at this point. At the end of the movie, he's unplugging the computer, and the last thing the computer does is sing Daisy Bell. And you're like, why is he singing Daisy Bell? And the reason he sings Daisy Bell is because the very first song ever that a computer ever sang was Daisy Bell. They programmed an IBM, I think in the early 70s, to sing a song, and it did. Those of you who are my age are thinking the 70s weren't that long ago, but in computer time, that was ancient history, right? And so I do think that when you find out that they first programmed this song, and then in the movie it shows up when he's killing the computer, goes back into his childhood and plays this song, then you get the joke, right? It's your official opportunity to be a nerd. And I don't know if you can actually go find that movie to stream anywhere or not, but it's amazing, and I love it. My wife hates it because you want to kill yourself as you're watching it. It's so slow, but I think it's amazing. So there you go. That's the Daisy Bell story. All right, now we have to move on to Sound of Music. For better or for worse, we're going to play Do Re Mi, and hopefully you had a chance to download that. And let me think about what I need to talk to you about this. I'm going to tell you that on this piece of music, the actual executing of it is not going to be the problem. It's really trying to get. We're going to be channeling Julie Andrews, right? For better or for worse, we're going to be trying to do it her way, and so we got a pretty decent piece of sheet music. If we were all together, I would tell you the opposite. We're not channeling Julie Andrews. We're playing it the way the sheet music's written together as a group. And I think those of you guys who are going to be, they're letting you outside again, which is not smart because we're just getting started with this thing. But if you end up going and hanging out with people, the question is always, do I play what's on the paper or do I play what's in my head? Well, when you're by yourself as a soloist, you play what's in your head, right? Hopefully what's in your head has some resemblance to the paper, but maybe not. You're going to adjust it. You're going to fix it. You're going to do things differently. You're going to make some things sound awesome for you and not at all the way it's on the paper. And that is 1,000% legitimate. On the other hand, when you get together with a group, we get to this decision about, are we going to play what's on the paper, or are we going to play what you think is in what you think, how you think it should go? And when you're in a group, you have to do what's on the paper because we all have to agree, right? And so be mindful when we are channeling Julie Andrews. We're doing that as soloists. We're doing that as tough uke players. We're doing that in our basements. We're doing that as when we go to the coffee shop for open mic night, or to the ukulele strum along and they let us have a solo, or you playing Red Rocks and Jake couldn't show up, so they ask you to stop by. That's when you're thinking about, I'm going to play this doggone thing my way. Okay. And so just be mindful. This, especially if you've seen Sound of Music, you love that show, and it's gonna run. It's sort of Julie Andrews. You can't do it any other way except her way, and I got it pretty close onto the paper as the way she does it. But I don't think that's the only way that a song can be done, and certainly hope that you would take whatever piece of music you're working on and make it yours in some meaningful way. Now, because we don't talk about this enough. I'm going to maybe make this a life lesson. You're an artist, whether you like it or not, whether your accounting background is in accounting or science or engineering or whatever it is that you do in your daily life or did in your daily life. When you become a musician, our first job is to teach you how to play. And it feels like you're reading the rule book, right? Here's the notes I'm supposed to pluck, and then the sounds come out, and that's how I make music. But very shortly thereafter, once you start to get skills, once you're hanging out with me, your job is no longer to just treat this as a rule book, but as a recipe. This gives you the basic idea of what I think you ought to do, because it's going to sound pretty good. But then you're going to take and you're going to add in your own salt and your own pepper and your own dash of this and dash of that. Sometimes you're going to take, instead of putting in pork, you're going to put in tofu. right? God love you, right? You're going to put in, sometimes you might change the recipe altogether, but you use this as the foundation for making yourself a better piece of music. And so when we see something like this, like my intro, for example, it's not even at all what's in the movie, but it gets that G chord going, so that then we're ready to play. Okay, I'm not going to sing, guys. You know that I shouldn't be singing. You know that I should not be singing this song, and so I'm not going to. But let's walk through the chords. Just make sure every chord makes sense to you. The first chord is a G chord. Okay, and remember, index finger on top, middle finger on the bottom, ring finger is out here. Okay, and there's that. And then you're going to go quite a ways, and oddly, instead of moving to something else, it's going to move to a G7 at major 7. So to get from your G, and again, remember, we always talk about this, knowing the chords is different than being able to execute them on time, right? So if you're going to play a G chord and you got to get to a G7, your job is to not know, is to do more than just know that that's happening. But how are you going to get there quickly and efficiently? And I tell you all the time, follow your index finger. From here, drop, raise, pull. Okay? And just do that over and over in life, right? Just do it exactly the same way all the time. Pretty soon your hand's going to be fast at it. Okay, so when you got a G, it's uncommon for us to go from a G to a G7. Uh, it happens. It does definitely happens, but not a lot. And so this will be one of those moments when you're like, "What? Okay, well, fine. I'll just go do there, right?" And that'll speed you up if you actually take time to micromanage your fingers. Next chord after G7, you just slide up to the C, right? You can do that one. And then we're going to go back to G7, index finger first. The other two guys pop on. Okay. And we're going to go back to the C. At the end of measure 9, you're going to have a G chord, but all G chord, C chord, G chord, C chord, G chord, C chord. We're doing this, right? C, keep your hands poised and ready. C, G, C, G, C, G, C, G, C, G, C, G. And of course, the rhythm is different in the music, but you want to train your fingers. Hey, we're going to be doing this. Okay. And then kind of a repeat 13, 14, 15, some more of that stuff. Let's move on then up to measures 19. Okay. When you get to measure 19, notice that you have a forward repeat bar. That means at some point you're coming back to measure 19. Grab your C. Okay. A deer, a female deer, then G7, going from C to index, jump on G7. A drop of golden sun, okay, and then C, G7, C, G7, all through that section. C, measure 28, your F chord's going to show up. That's again, index finger first, middle finger up, you lose your ring finger. To get from an F to a D7, middle finger's got to get out of the way as the index finger's going there, and your middle finger's diving down to the second string. A note to follow. And then the nice part about D7 is it's set up to become a G really nicely. So you're hanging out here, drops down, there, to follow. So, okay, let's go on to page 3. Now you've got this E7 sitting here on the top. That's going to beat you, because it's after the page turn, it's going to beat you up every time. Musicians in my band, the musicians in the band that I am being in front of from time to time, that's as close to it being mine, they are writing at the bottom of page 2, probably going to write E7, or they'll probably put some notations at the handwritten at the bottom. Hey, by the way, when you turn the page, this really horrible thing is going to happen to you. Here's what it is. Okay, you're hanging out on this G chord in measure 30. When you turn the page, you suddenly have to be on E7. So you want to maybe give yourself a note at the bottom of page 2 that that's going to happen. And then that way, when you turn the page, not quite the excitement, and your hand is already moving. Index finger first, middle finger second, ring finger down here. Note to follow T, a drink with toast and jam. And then C7. That will, F chord, bring us back to something. Oh, I put in ukulele, right? That will bring us back to do, re, mi, fa, right? I put ukulele in there. I know, scandal. When we get to the end of 34, if I remember right, we had a group sing that. That's why we did it. When we get to the end of 34, you're going to go back to 19. I would, if it were me, and on above measure 34, write the phrase to number 19. Because otherwise, I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning, realize I'm not supposed to be there, madly scan through the music, find my repeat at 19. Now I'm a whole measure behind, right? So if you just write to number 19 on there, then you avoid that whole little deal there. So that's happy to. That's a little happy way to make yourself less crazy, right? Just write to number 19 and then that's all that. Gail says, happy to have this score in my collection. Great scale, actually. Oh, yeah. By the way, for those of you, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is called solfege, I think is how you pronounce it in singing. And it's how we use scales. And so it's actually, in addition to being a very musical piece of music, it actually teaches you music. So there's that. All right. So we talked about the chords. I'm not going to sing because you know better. Let's go through and run the melody. Ukulele melody line. Let's just talk about what I'm hoping you'll do there. Measure 1, G chord, bum, and then 2, 3, 2, bum, 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 blum, bum, 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 blum, bum, 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 blum. That's what I want you to do in those chords in the beginning. That's going to get you started in the right direction. The song is in G, right? Okay, so it's going to fit good, fit. So that's why we're doing a ton of G chords. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. I'm just questioning whether the song is in G or C. The song is actually in C once you get to the main chorus, but it starts out very G-E. Okay, the reason they can do that, I wrote it on a C blank, but it ends up in the first part of this is definitely feels more GE. These two guys are best friends, C, D, E, F, and G, and those two guys work really well together, and so that's why we're starting in G, but we'll end up, I think, in C-ish. Okay, all right. So let's give that a try for just those first little bits. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, strum, do, do, dum, bum, 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 bum. Okay, just do that one more time, just that little section. Ready and play. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, and again, I'm grabbing all 4 strings, thumb on top, index underneath, middle underneath, ring underneath their respective strings. And then I'm going to just try to make that part as fast as I can. If I can go faster, I will. Okay, and then I'm going to grab that 3 right before I start playing the melody. Let's, and then I'm going to just probably switch to thumb and play the melody. But in order to pull that section off, you really do need your claw, and that's why I keep talking you into give it a try, give it a try, give it a try. It's going to be cool. Okay, so keep thinking about this. If you want to play the rest of the song with your claw, you absolutely can. I will always switch to my thumb because I feel like I'm more accurate and I have a better tone when I'm just playing straight melody with my thumb. Q says, with the thumb, are you strumming the 3rd or 4th string? If I wanted to use my thumb, here's how I would do it. That's how I would play that if I was using my thumb. I think that it's going to sound better with a claw. But yeah, Marilyn, if I'm using my thumb and it shows multiple strings, yeah, I will do whatever strings it tells me to do. Those are the ones I'm going to hit. And so the 3rd and the 4th string, heck yeah, make why not, right? Sounds cool. Hopefully that answered your question. Okay, let's play the melody. I don't recall this becoming too intense from a melody standpoint. You do get up to when we do the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, da, 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 da. I can't do it backwards. You're going to go up to the 7 and the 8. Okay, so just make sure you're aware of where those are on your ukulele. It only happens once, and I don't think it happens again on page 3, does it? Yeah. So you're only going to be going up there once, but you better be ready for it because you are going clear all the way up there. Okay, and Rogers and Hammerstein drive me crazy because they got it in on the wrong strings and notes and all this stuff. It doesn't make sense from mathematics, but it absolutely sounds cool. All right, let's give it a try. Let's start at measure 3, the pickup to measure 3. That's this 3 note here. Pick up to measure 3, and that's where we sing. 1, 2, 3. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Switching to numbers. 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3. Oh, 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 3, 1, 1, 1, oh, 2, oh, 2, oh, 3, 5, 7. 3, 5, 7, oh, 2, oh, 3, 2, oh, 3, 1, oh, oh, 1, 3, oh, 2, oh, 3, 5, 7, 3, oh, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 2. Okay, that's a pretty challenging section there. Okay, so let's just go back through and play that. Pretty good chance. I'm surprised I pulled it off, to be honest. That's a pretty challenging section. So let's go ahead and go back to 16. Do, re, mi. And then we want to go, it's all eighth notes except for the tie over measures there at between 17 and 18. It's all going to go pretty fast. So let's do the 3, 5, 7 and then see how we do. Okay. Start with your 3. Use that 3 because then you give you 5 and 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 5, 7. 3, 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 2. Okay, didn't sound as good that time. Let me try it again from the top or from 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 5, 7. 3, 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 2. Okay, and we're probably the sheet music says don't put a fermata there. Don't drag that out because your next note is 0 on the next measure. That's where you're going to get your rest, your little bit longer note. So let's go ahead and play over that measure into 19. The first measure of 19 will include it. So from 16 through 19-ish. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I blew it. I counted wrong. Let's do from the 16 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 5, 7. 3, 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 2. Oh, the deer. Okay, so do, deer. That's what you're after. So make sure we're not sticking a fermata in at the end of 18. We just got to move right on into that next measure. When I was a new piano player, man, I treated every vertical line as a rest, right? I play that measure, kind of rest, go to play the next measure, kind of rest. That's not what you want, right? You want to get that all flowing smooth and paying as little attention to the fact that you moved into a new measure other than it's happening on beat 1. Okay. All right. Let's play from 19. Let's see how far we can go. From 19, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. 2, 3, 4. Me, a name I call myself. Far, a long, long way to run. So a needle pulling thread. La, a note to follow. So 2, 3, 4. Tea, a toast with toast and jam. 2, 3. That will bring us back to do, re, mi, dun dun dun. Ukulele. By the way, I always say ukulele because I know that it doesn't matter. You will not be arrested by the ukulele police, but the correct pronunciation is ukulele, we have a few people here in Denver who insist on ukulele as the proper pronunciation. Um, I think I don't know why it's there, but anyway, 3 3 0 2, and now we go back. Let's go back to the repeat. Let's go to measure 19. Let's play it all the way through to the end. Okay, 1 2, ready, go. Do a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun. 2 3 4, me a name I call myself. Ba, a long, long way to run. 2 3 4. So a needle pulling thread. 2 3 4. La, a note to follow. So 2 3 4. Tea, a toast with throat and tongue. 2 3. That will bring us back to, and then skip to the next measure. 2 do, 2 3 4. And then I've got in there, I went ahead and put in there, let's have you guys strum, even if you're on melody, because the strumming is not terribly hard. So go to 33. That will bring us back to do, 2 3 4, F, O 2 O, D minor 3, G7 2 3. Bong. Okay, so that's what I gave you guys as melody players. If that's too much when you get there, just let the tough axe people take it, and and that'll be what you want. A couple of notes are coming in over here. Mike, in measure 16, should the 8 be a 9? In measure 16, should the 8 be a 9? Measure 16. No, should be an 8. Should be an 8. This is an F. This is an F sharp. No possibility that would be, very little possibility that would be the correct note. Okay, so yeah, no, it's an 8 is correct. It does sound a little wonky there because you're singing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, but you're not stopping on, you're not stopping in the right spot on there, and so it sounds like it's wrong until they resolve it coming back down. Da 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 do. Right, that's where the resolution happens, is on measure 19, not in the middle of 17. And it's why it ties over the measure. The whole thing is a little bit wonky there. It's because Rodgers and Hammerstein were pretty decent songwriters. Let's see. And Mike said measure 17 going into 18. Yeah, I think 8 is correct. All right. Let's play the whole. Let's play the whole thing. If you are a tough uke player, this is your time. Okay, so you now know the melody, and decide what level you're at. Right, if you are just a chord player, perfectly fine, sing and strum to your heart's content. These chords are pretty cooperative. If you are still working on learning the reed tablature, playing the melody is not unimportant. Okay, very important that you just get where that can happen for you. You hear me when I play it, I make a few mistakes, sometimes a lot of mistakes, but the idea that I would have to practice that, I am no longer there because I've been playing it for years and years and years. When you're brand new, you do have to practice it. You do have to play it. Melodies move all over the place, and you want to get where you're pretty comfortable with those things happening in your ukulele. All right, let's go through the tough uke. I don't think there's anything fancy, so I'm going to just play it through kind of slowly to give you a chance to just sort of read and see what's happening there, and then we'll work out any sort of difficulties that we find along the way. Okay, so we've got your G chord to get started with, and let's get going. 1 2 3 4. Pluck, pluck, 3 2, plunk, 2 3 2, plunk, 2 3 2, plunk, 3, G chord, 3 3, plunk, oh 2, plunk, 3 2 2, plunk, 3 3, plunk, 3, 3. Go to your G7, plonk, 1, 1, plonk, 3. I love that measure, by the way. I think that is the coolest thing ever. Now go to your C chord, but it's all zeros, right? In measure 8, plonk, oh, plonk, oh, 3. Grab your G7, plonk, 1, 1, all zeros, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 5, 7. Okay. When you're doing that, make sure your ring finger is really heavily involved with that so that you can get the 3 and 5 and 7 out. Okay, so make sure that melody comes through if you're doing this one. Okay, we're going to go back through. I'm going to do it with my thumb here in just a second just to show you the difference. And then measures 12. Okay, go. Where it gets intense. 3, 5, 7, 3, 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 2, bum, 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 bum. Okay, and then it goes on. Okay, so I wanted to just go through and pluck that with you just so I could get a sense of what you can do there. Now let's go through and try with the thumb and see which one's going to be better. Okay, Laurel's into the ending. Nice. I don't get the connection between playing the chords and doing the single fingering of the single notes on the melody line. Bit lost. So Q, what we're talking about, those are separate ways of playing. You can play the chords with your voice singing, okay? And then there is no connection between that and the ukulele melody line. The ukulele melody is what would have been coming out of your mouth if you didn't have a ukulele, okay? So in other words, the ukulele melody line is what comes out of your mouth. The only difference is instead of it coming out of your mouth, it's going to come out on here. So those are two completely separate ways of playing the ukulele. And that's when you learn ukulele from anybody else, they start with the chords and they tell you all the chords and you sing and you have a great time. And then they stop teaching you because they don't know anything else. Okay. What I do is I teach you melody first. Melody is the most important part in rhythm's probably the most important. Melody is the second most important part of music. And so you want to be able to do that without singing. Okay, then you have choices. If you can play the melody on this without singing, then you've got a lovely life in ukulele. But you don't have to. You can still go through and sing it if you want and use the chords. But I want you to be able to play both ways. Those two have nothing to do with each other necessarily. Very lightly related. Where the two come together is in the tough uke line. That's where I take the melody. I put the melody in the tough uke line first. Then I go through and grab as much of those chords as makes sense and stick that in underneath the melody line and see what I get. And so that's what the tough uke is about, is combining those two. Okay, so I would not jump into tough uke until you got a pretty good handle on playing melody. That's what I would handle with that. All right, hopefully that answers the question. We're almost out of time. We are out of time. I got 1 minute to play a 2-minute song. Let's play whatever manner makes sense to you, and I'm going to do thumb down this time and just see how it sounds. Stick with me through the whole process. We'll play from top to bottom. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably should have told you I was going to do the second ending instead of the first ending, but you get the idea, right? And this is a good song to be practicing at home. Really, really good at helping you think through your scales a little bit, just getting everything put together in the various pieces and parts. And I do think that, on terms of laying out on ukulele, it laid out just fine. This is a lovely tune because it fits all instruments. And so it's one of the more playable pieces of the week. We have two others this week, and just very quickly before you run out, let me remind you. Tonight we have Global Ukulele Institute 2020, whatever the heck I'm calling it. Tonight will be go grab the resource sheet. Well, go to the Global Institute page on the website, and it'll tell you everything that to have ready. There's way more stuff on that we're going to get through. What I'm really going to get through is the bar chord class. That's what is important here, is getting through where you need 10 shapes, and it takes care of all your majors, minors, sevenths, and diminished chords. Just 10 shapes. It takes care of all of those, and that will allow you to transpose songs more easily. So we're really high level stuff, hard workshop tonight, but it's going to be worth it, I think, for you to get your handle on that. So try to come join us tonight if you can. And then tomorrow I took the day off because we were going to go do a thing. Now we're not going to do the thing. But I'm still taking the day off. So, tomorrow I left you the three Americana songs because 4th of July is coming up at the end of the week. So for those of you that are Americans, I gave you America, America the Beautiful, and Yankee Doodle. All three of those songs are incredibly irritating, but it'll get you set up for your barbecue in which you're not having anybody over because they haven't been being careful and they're going to kill you. But you will need to be able to play ukulele next to the barbecue grill in any event. And so I'm setting you up for that on Tuesday. We won't be here on Tuesday. Wednesday, Key of F arpeggio, that's the tough one, and Edelweiss, absolutely beautiful song on the ukulele. Please take time to pull that one up and get started on it now. Thursday, Aloha Oi, Scarborough Fair, and My Favorite Things. Of the three Sound of Music songs, My Favorite Things is by far the most difficult, and it is a really, really challenging piece. So it's already posted. The whole week of music is already posted. You can download all that stuff, and feel free to get started working on it. If you find typos and questions or whatever, make sure you let me know about that stuff. I am my own editor, which means that there are lots of mistakes sneak through, and so I want you guys to always have really solid quality stuff. Which means that you have to be active in telling me what's wrong. Lynn has sent me a list of songs that need some corrections on, and I really appreciate that. And so please be involved with that in that respect. And I never mind. I make mistakes, right? So if hopefully nobody drives the car off a cliff because of it. And so just let me know what you find. We have a good week of music. I mean, good, solid. There's no bad songs this weekend. Well, Yankee Doodle's iffy and America is really iffy. And the other than that, we're got a pretty good group of songs. And I will see all of you either tonight or I will see you Wednesday. Okay, so don't come here. Well, come here tomorrow and be sad, or just come here tomorrow. Just put this into your regular time and use that as practice time. Okay. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope the weather gets better wherever you are. I didn't hear too many people saying the weather was perfect where they are. Ours is kind of close to perfect. So, all right. I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Laurel has said, if I ever figure out how to memorize, this one will be it. Memorizing, the best thing I memorize is do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And yeah, it'll stick. It sticks eventually. Renee, have a wonderful day. Let's see. Vicky, you like this a lot. It's a good song. Yeah, heck yeah. See you Wednesday, Brandon. Have a great week. Love this song, and it's fun to play. It is fun. It's going to be fun, right? Okay. Phyllis, great song. See you there. And Linda, I'll see you tonight. Have fun. Date off tomorrow. Thanks for all you do. You are absolutely welcome, Linda. You're very, very kind. Carol, see you tonight. Have a great night. Pauline, looking forward to learning bar chords. Well, don't look forward to it too much. They're mean little suckers. Well, we'll do the best we can. Canada Day on Wednesday. Oh, we need to play Oh Canada. Oh, I even have it done. Oh, how am I going to remember? Canada Day on Wednesday. Canada Day. Canada Day. Canada. I have it done. I will. Let me see if I can get it posted, Carol. Phyllis, let me see if I can get it posted. That'll be fun. Looking forward to class tonight. Good to see you tonight, Leslie. Alan, my new neighbor has two. Daisy, I'll have to remember. Yeah, heck yeah. First of all, isn't that the cutest name for a little girl? Daisy. Oh, I love that. That makes me super happy. There should be more daisies in the world. See you tonight, Michael. Lynn, I'll see you soon. Patty, see you tonight. Or you catch the rerun, right? I don't know. I've never watched my own reruns. I don't know if they're any good or not. Enjoy your day off. Look forward to the rest of the week. Jackie, have a great day. Cat had fun. See you tonight, even though. Oh, I know. What the heck's going on in Texas? You're gonna have to go to Arkansas, I guess. To can you go to the Arkansas? Do they let you across the line? Be good, Cat. Try to be good. Lynn, probably. All right, Lynn. I'll let you off the hook. I'll believe you. Okay. See you tonight, Sandy, Elizabeth. We love this one. Who doesn't love that, right? Come on. Have a great night, you guys. I'll see most of you tonight. I'll see some of you Wednesday. And I'm going to go look for O Canada right now. Talk to you later.